Chapter 7 The Burning of the Books. The Dragon King watched the bonfire as it blazed up towards the sky. Around the fire, the air was thick and wavy. Bamboo books were stacked beside the fire, waiting to be burned. "Hurry," said the scholar. They jumped down from the cart and joined the crowd by the bonfire. The Dragon King shouted to the soldiers. They began throwing the books into the fire. The bamboo crackled as it burned. "Stop!" cried Annie. Jack grabbed her. "Be quiet," he said. Annie pulled away. "Stop!" she shouted again, but her voice was lost in the noise of the roaring fire. "There's your story," said the scholar. He pointed to a bamboo book that had fallen off a waiting stack. "I'll get it," said Annie. She dashed over to the book. "Annie!" cried Jack, but she had already snatched up the bundle of bamboo strips and was charging back to them. "Got it. Quick, put it in your sack," she said. Jack put the bundle of bamboo strips in his backpack. Then he looked around fearfully. He gasped. The Dragon King was glaring at them. Then he headed their way. "Seize them!" the Dragon King shouted. "Run through the burial grounds," the scholar told Jack and Annie. "The soldiers will be afraid to follow. They fear the spirits of the ancestors." "Thanks," said Jack. "Thanks for everything." "Good luck," cried Annie. Then she and Jack took off. Soldiers shouted after them. An arrow whizzed by. But Jack and Annie kept running. They ran down the path to the burial grounds. They jumped over the low brick wall and ran between the huge mounds of earth. Suddenly, arrows filled the air around them. The archers were shooting from the tower. "Look!" cried Jack. There was a doorway in one of the mounds. Jack and Annie ducked inside. They were in a long hall lit with oil lamps. "It's so quiet," said Annie. She walked down the passageway. "Hey, there are some steps here." "Don't go any further," said Jack. "Why not?" said Annie. "We don't know what's down there," said Jack. "This is a burial tomb, remember? It's kind of creepy." "Let's just take a quick look," said Annie. "Maybe it's the way out of here." Jack took a deep breath. "You might be right," he said. "Okay, but go slow." He didn't want to stumble on anything. Annie started down the steep steps. Jack followed. The lamps lit their way as they kept going down and down. Finally, they reached the bottom. Jack blinked. Even though oil lamps glowed everywhere, it was hard to see at first. When Jack's eyes got used to the strange light, his heart suddenly stopped. "Oh man," he breathed. They were in a room filled with soldiers. Thousands of them. Alright, so what were they throwing in the bonfire? Where did the scholar tell them to run? What were they shooting at Jack and Annie? And what was in the room?